Welcome to today's more important analysis videos on Friday, 7th of September with me, Japan market analyst at Hantec Markets. Non-farm payrolls Friday. Markets are fairly settled, fairly stable. Nothing too significant in terms of direction yet, really. Little bit of dollar slip that we've seen as the markets have just taken into the European session. That euro gains probably the main driver of that, although sterling mildly stronger as is the yen. But it's interesting that the Aussie dollar is coming under a little bit of corrective pressure. And the suggestion is overnight that although Donald Trump has not yet, and I repeat that word yet, enacted the trade tariffs increase on China for the 200 billion worth of imports, there is suggestions that perhaps he may well be preparing for Japan to be the next target. So subsequently, we've seen a little bit of risk aversion on the back of that. Gold stronger, and the yen mildly stronger as well. Equities sort of basically mixed, sort of waiting really for this payrolls report to come out. I think S&P 500 slightly lower yesterday. Little bit of a tech sell-off, really the driver there. We saw Nasdaq over 1% lower, and S&P 500 futures ticking slightly lower today. So little bit of mild weakness across Europe, but nothing really. And it's going to be driven, I think, by payrolls later on. Now, payrolls is the main focus of today, and what we have got is an expectation of headline payrolls to be 191,000. Let me scroll down and see it. There we go, 191,000. And it'll be interesting to see what happens, because the ADP number was worse than expected yesterday. I think it was around 160,000. Expectation of 190, I think it was, and it suggested that there's a slight concern that employers are struggling to fill jobs, and it'll be interesting how the unemployment rate goes. Expected to drop to 3.8%. How average wages go, expected to remain static at 2.7%. But also this one here, the U6 underemployment number, does that continue to fall? So the payrolls headline of 191 is going to get the initial reaction, I think, but ultimately it's going to be more focused on how wages go in the and that will be the sort of secondary reaction, I think, once the headline number has been digested. So that's this afternoon. Now, my chart today is Euro Kiwi. Now, I've been sort of looking at Kiwi in recent days and thinking that perhaps it's getting a little bit stretched. And we saw a couple of bear candles this week on Euro Kiwi, sorry. And that's come as the RSI is over 70, which is a rarity, very rare occurrence that. And stochastics have started to sort of tick over as well. So this reaction higher that we've seen today is obviously a positive move, but will it continue? Will it continue to sort of make gains? It is looking a little bit stretched, and then pull back towards the breakout of 174.80. The significance of that is fairly large, that breakout level. So an unwind towards that could quite easily be seen, and that's over 200 pips at the moment. But the caveat to that is the fact that obviously we are in this trend higher phase, but a move and a breakout above 77.20, which is the initial resistance high from yesterday. I think that or Wednesday, that really opens 180 again. So there is, yeah, it's a difficult time for Euro Kiwi, because the signs are that perhaps the momentum indicators are showing. Sorry, that's FTSE. Euro Kiwi is there. The momentum indicators on the daily might be starting to sort of wane a touch, and it's interesting that that is coming, and we might start to see this sort of losing a bit of impetus. So the reaction to payrolls report today could be interesting. Risk positive payrolls could have Kiwi helping to drive a bit of a recovery, but yeah, I think this afternoon we could see a bit of volatility around this chart. As I said, initial resistance 1730 area, and yeah, the a failure underneath that again which sort of drops back to test that uptrend, could start to usher in a bit of profit taking as the momentum indicators are stretched. So I think this will be an interesting chart. I'm sort of talking about it just because it's getting stretched rather than this is outright sell signals. There are no outright sell signals yet on this chart. It's just something to keep an eye on, I think, in the next day or so. So I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later.